Do you really want to be perceived like that way? A student looks at me thoughtfully. I would guess she is about 16 or 70 years old. Then she asks me a question. Do I really come across that badly? I look her in the eyes and nod. No, I don't want that, she says quietly. How do we as Christians actually come across? How do we want to come across? The Apostle Paul gives the people of his day and us today a thought-provoking encouragement. In today's impulse, we read, Therefore, be imitators of God, as beloved children, and walk in love just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. It is remarkable that Paul does not begin by talking about what Christians should believe. He talks about how they should live, because the two cannot be separated. The young student had realized that there is a difference between how we want to be perceived and how we actually come across to others. That is exactly the question we as Christians should ask ourselves as well. How do we actually come across? As people who constantly complain? As people who always think they know better? As people who judge others? Or as people through whom something of Christ's love becomes visible? Paul speaks of a fragrant offering. It is a beautiful image. When we meet a kind, loving and compassionate person, we often sense something special long before a single word about faith is spoken. Christians are not called to stand out because they are unpleasant. They are called to reflect the love of Christ. Of course, we will make mistakes. Of course, we will not always succeed, but the question remains important. What do other people experience when they meet us? For many people will never read a Bible first, but they will meet a Christian. That is why we do well to ask others again and again how we come across as Christians. For our Lord Jesus Christ has not called us to lovelessness, but to love. And that is exactly how his followers should be recognized.